Yeah, when I went to Chelmsford Prison on my 1074, finishing it, met Togi Ludlow, my pal, Dave Potter, Terry Millman, Lou Swallow, uh, Tibbses. There's loads of people I met, yeah? Good people, yeah? And anyway, so I've been there, what, about 7 months. And there was a guy opposite, guy called Peter Lyons, big guy, uh, kept walking past saying, "Oh, what, mate? You know, for a bit of milk." So he kept giving me a bit of milk. A nice guy. He said, "Look, I work in the kitchen." He said, "Do you want a job?" I said, "Yeah, I love a job in the kitchen." He said, "Let me go and see Mr. Mitchell." So I comes down the hot plate to get my food, and if Mr. Mitchell got hold of me, he said, "Look, you want a job?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, come in the morning." Unlocked me, went downstairs, and give me a job in the veg department. Yeah, so I was working the veg. Peter, now and again, he's giving me milk, but not very often. He changed, yeah. But we become like pals. Rugby together. I was a prop, he was a prop. When I was second row, he was second row. Any trouble on the football field, rugby field, sorry, we was always together. Mickey Blackmore, he was there as well. Will Atkins was there. Proper little firm, mate. You know what I mean? Tibbs is there. Mickey Green, all them people, proper people on the lines and all that. Any aggravation, everyone's just steaming, yeah. And I was always having fights on the rugby field. It never stopped. Got all my teeth knocked out one time. Yeah, Anyway, me and Peter changed addresses. When Chelmsford burnt down, I went to Wandsworth. He went to Wandsworth with me, but then I got shipped to the Scrubs because my brother, his mate was John Dixie. John Dixie's dad, his name was John Dixie, and he was a chief in Wandsworth, so there's no way I could stay there. So I moved to the Scrubs. From the Scrubs, eventually, I went back to Crispin's for a little while. Crispin's wine bar. I worked there for 6 months. Then went to Lucky's and all these sort of things, different places, yeah. And then eventually moved to Lewisham. But anyway, when I was at Crispin's, I was on the door there, and one day Peter Lyons, my pal in prison. I mean, me and him have been mates for a long time, yeah. So I trusted him, really trusted the guy, And he asked me if he could get introduced to the governor, And I said, yeah, no problem, Ken, what was his name? Ken. Anyway, his first name was Ken, yeah. And yeah, I said, no problem. So I introduced him to Ken, and they was talking, and then all of a sudden Ken said, look, I'm just going to go with Peter, make sure everything's sweet, and when I come back, we'll have a chat. I went, okay. So what he done, he went, Peter sort of like talked to him, and Peter made a deal with him that he knows his people that have got a wine shop, big wine, not a wine shop, big wine warehouse. And what does he want? Scotch or vodkas or things like that. He can get it for virtually nothing. But he said, what to do? He said, look, pull round the back with the lorry, give me the money, I'll come through, pay the money to these people, and then we go load up all the stuff, yeah? He went, okay. Bet he bought a lot, Ken. I went, and I'm waiting for Ken to come back with Peter. And he don't come back. And I don't know what's going on, yeah? And all of a sudden, Ken pulls up outside, rushes in. I said, what's up, mate? He went, what's up, your mate? It's just run off with all my money, mate. I've got empty lorry, yeah? Nothing on it. There's not a thing on it. Your mate just took my money, run in the place. I went round the back to load it all up. The shutters were down. I'm outside. Nothing happened, And I'm out there half an hour, and then I'll come around the front, and this geezer ain't there, Peter Lyons, yeah? I went, you're joking. So now he thinks I'm involved in it, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? So I went, okay. And I went over to North London, where Peter was living. I had his address, so his phone number, everything, yeah. I knocked at the door. His mum comes to the door, says, Peter around? She said, no, I'm not seeing him enough for a long time, As far as I knew, he's back in prison. I went, no, it's only like a couple of days ago that I see him, yeah. So she said, what's that? I said, no, nothing. Don't worry, it's not no problem. Me and my mates in Chelmsford Prison. Oh, okay. What's your name? I said, my name's Ray Hill. Oh, he always talks about you, Ray, and what's that and the other. She said, well, you coming for a cup of tea? I said, no, I've got to go, yeah. But if you see him, don't tell him you see me, because I want him to be a surprise, yeah. She said, okay. Anyway, I'm looking for him, mate. I'm looking everywhere. So Mum must have told him that I was looking for him, yeah. And Peter was a little bit of a nutcase. You know, he'd stab you up. He can't fight. He couldn't really fight, but he'd stab you up. Big guy, you know, 19 stone, but couldn't really fight, you know. And I haven't really said this before, yeah, because story, you know, you've got, you know, in my book, there's so many stories in my book. I don't even know if I said this story, you know what I mean? But anyway, Peter, I'm now working at Lucky's, yeah, before I went to Lewisham, from Crispin's to Lucky's, yeah. And I'm walking from Crispin's to Lucky's. I'm going across the green by Ealing Broadway station, and this Peter has got out the motor with 2 or 3 of his mates, yeah, and they set about me, yeah. You know what I mean? They set about me, yeah. I'll give as good as what I could possibly give, yeah. Maybe not 2 out or whatever, but I had a right good fight, yeah. Even though I got really badly hurt, yeah. I mean, they really hurt me. I was lucky that Peter never stabbed me up, you know. But they bashed me up bad. They had all sorts of, maybe baseball bats or whatever, yeah. They bashed me up, bashed on my legs, on my arms, everything, yeah. They didn't do too much in my face. They kicked me around the face a bit of time, but they never hit me over the head with baseball bats or nothing like that, yeah. Just around my body. And I sort of like, you know, I got to Lucky's in a bad way, yeah. I don't know if my mate Dominic McCoy remembers it, but I got to Lucky's in a bad way, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, that what he'd done to me over the money that he nicked. But what it was, I went round his house with Mum, I suppose that sparked something off, you know, to do that anyway in the first place. But I never told Mum nothing. I never told her anything what he'd done. But he battered me really bad. And like me, like loads of people, especially me, I don't let it lie. If something like that happens to me, if something that does me a wrong and like that, I'm looking for him, yeah? I'm looking for them, and I ain't going to give up until I find them. And, you know, just by chance, one day, me, a couple of my pals, we drove over to where he is. And there he is, sitting around, smoking fags. Drove by, and I thought, now's my chance, yeah. I've got to do it, now's my chance. I jumped out, mate. You know, you never see nothing, you never see it so quick, yeah. I jumped out with a crowbar, yeah. With a crowbar about, 3 foot. And I smashed him to pieces, mate. I must have broke both his legs. And the girl that was with him, and another guy, I'm not joking, yeah, the girl gave me more than the guy. The girl was all over me. She's like giving me grief, smashing me up a bit, you know, scratching my face, you know, but I just pushed her off. I just keep pushing her, I just keep jumping on me. I was battering Peter. I really battered him. And then we drove away, yeah. From this day, from that day to this day, I've never, ever heard anything about Peter Lyons. Perhaps anybody on YouTube, as I'm talking now from North London, might know this guy, you know, but I've never ever been told anything what happened yet, never. All I know is that he nicked all the money, he nicked all that money, he battered me bad, and that's it, you know. Then I one day booked motor and went over there, and I wouldn't leave it, no way, you know. He made a bad job of me. It maybe took 2 or 3 months after what happened, yeah. But when I see him, I mean, come on, I don't think he thought that I would be looking for him again. Yeah, and yeah, I found him, mate, on a wall with some people just standing there smoking. Worst thing, mate. He might not still be alive, Peter. If he is alive, he's seeing this, give me a comment, mucker. you know what I mean, really a mucker, but what he done, you know, it was out of order. Ken English, after that, we were still, Ken was good mates. I still worked with Kenny on the door for a long, long time. I've had more trouble on that door at Crispin's at Ealing Broadway than ever any other door. I mean, you know, I got a shot in the leg, you know what I mean, and it was from either from Togi or someone else. Yeah, they done me. They shot me with a 410, a short one, a little bore. Rather than a 12 bore, it was a 410, little silver cartridges, you know, and yeah, it was like, you know, I think it'd have been a 12 bore. From a distance, that took half my leg off, you know what I mean, because it wasn't that far that they shot me. But I've had a few fights in there. But it's like everything, you take the job on, it was only me on the door, you know what I mean. My mate Tony Williams, my mate Danny Williams, his brother Tony Williams, he was on the door, good boxer Tony. He was on the door with me, and then he went and told me that you know, you can handle it yourself, eh? But because when I first went there, the idea of me going into Crispin's wine bar was Ken Edwards, that's his name, the governor of Crispin's wine bar. He wanted me there to get rid of all the people like the yuppies, because they was going there buying a bottle of wine, you know, and making it last all night, whereas he isn't earning no money. No one was going to the cocktail bar. The people that were people like ourselves. So what I had to do was get rid of all the yuppies and get our own people in. But sometimes getting your own people in is the worst thing in the world. Do you know what I mean? Because all they want to do when they have a drink is they want to fight and cause trouble. But being that I've been on a lot of doors, you get to know the aggravation, the ones that cause the aggro, and you got to get to them quick, mate. Because if it kicks off, they're the ones that are going to cause murders. You know what I mean? Anyway, bang bang, well, nice one.